Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and we're first taking a look at a bunch of newer Yu-Gi-Oh cards that don't come out until 2022, but we have our first ever Ritual Pendulum Monster. Now, these are going to be coming out in DFO, which is Dimension Force, which is not going to be releasing in the OCG until January 15th. So we might not get this for quite a time in TCG, but let's go and take a look at them and see if these new Yu-Gi-Oh cards are going to be any good. But if you're excited about Pendulum support, drop a like on this because you're finally getting some major support apparently with several different cards. The first one is going to be the Perform Pal Gentrude. So here is the artwork on it. It's level 4. Looks like it's a dark Pendulum Scale of 8, 1500 attack, and 1000 defense points. And it is also going to be a dark fiend monster. So, Pendulum effect is you can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part of the effect is if you control no monsters or all monsters you control are Pendulum monsters, and you have Perform Pal Lady Angie in your other Pendulum zone, you get to add one odd eyes card from your deck to your hand. That's, I mean, a pretty decent effect. You have to have that card though, which is, I guess, the next card that we're going to be taking a look at, because I was going to say, I've never heard of this card, but it's the next card we're going to look at. The monster effect, though, is you can only use one of the first and second monster effect of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. The first part of the effect is, if this card is destroyed, you can place one Perform Pal Pendulum monster from your deck in your Pendulum zone, except for Perform Pal Gentrude. The second part is, if this card is face up in your X deck, you can discard one Pendulum monster to add this card to your hand. Then you can return one Perform Pal or Odd Eyes card from your Pendulum zone to the hand. Pretty decent effects overall with both of them. Next up, we have the Perform Pal Lady Ange over here, and it looks like it's level 3. It's going to be a light 1000 attack, 1500 defense points, and the Pendulum Scale is going to be 1. It is also a fairy monster. And it says, as the Pendulum effect, once per turn, when an attack is declared involving both players' monsters, you can discard one Pendulum monster. Your opponent's battling monster loses 1000 attack until the end of this turn. Okay, pretty decent effect. Monster effects, you can only use one of the first and second monster effect of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. The first part of the effect is you can discard this card and another Perform Pal monster, except for Perform Pal Lady Ange, to draw 2 cards. Wow, that's actually a really good effect for cycling, and it's a light. I'm wondering if someone's going to make some sort of chaos variant. We are also getting new chaos support, so I guess it kind of supports. We've got light and darks already ready to go. The other effect is, if this card is in your graveyard and you control an Odd Eyes or Perform Pal Gentrude, you can place this card in your other Pendulum zone. Okay, pretty interesting effect indeed. Next up though, here is the first card. Remember guys, this is going to be the first Pendulum ritual monster that we're ever getting, and let's see if it's going to be good, because they got to make good first impressions, right? This is Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon. Here is the artwork. Looks like the scale is 4. It is a level 7 light dragon ritual monster, 27 attack, 25 defense. Pendulum Scale 4. And its Pendulum effect is you can use the Pendulum effect with this card's name only once per turn. The first part of the effect is, during the end phase, you can add one ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then return this card to the hand. Wow. Unfortunately, during the end phase, is a lot of times just way too, like, everyone's like, okay, at that point, I'm over it. But pretty good effect potentially. Monster effects are must be either Pendulum Summon from the hand or Ritual Summon. You can Ritual Summon this card with Odd Eyes Advent. The first part is, each time your opponent special summons a monster from the extract, inflict 300 damage to them. I mean, in some decks, like, you could actually just OTK them with, like, that effect alone, depending on what deck it is, but second part of the effect is, once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell, card, or effect as a quick effect, you can place this card in your Pendulum zone. If you do, negate that effect. Then, if this Ritual Summon card was placed in the Pendulum zone, you can special one Odd Eyes monster from your extra. Okay, there is some potential with that ability. It doesn't even destroy, it just negates the effect. Okay, interesting. Next up though, we have the Extra Pendulum. So this is a normal spell card that says, during your main phase this turn, you can tuck one Pendulum Summon of a monster or monsters from your extract in addition to your Pendulum Summon. Wow. You can only gain this effect once per turn. Okay, this is an absolute game changer. There's going to be so many OTKs. There's going to be so much potential with this card. I mean, you can get an additional Pendulum Summon. I want to say is this our first time that we're ever getting the, like, double Pendulum Summon? That's that's a pretty big effect, and there's no restrictions to like odd eyes or just any archetypes. It's any pendulum summon, which can actually open up the doors for more weird, obscure decks that have these conditions of getting like very specific monsters out. Let me know, guys, if there's any OTKs with this. I think this card has some interesting potential. Next up, we have Pendulum Scale. This is a normal trap card, and it's just called Pendulum Scale. Here's the artwork on it, and it says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. The first part of the effect is if you have 2 cards in your Pendulum Zone, you can apply this effect based on the difference between their current Pendulum Scales. So the first part of the effect, which is 0, destroy 2 spell and traps on the field. That's going to be your own 2. That could actually be pretty good, but it is a trap. The second part of the effect is if it's 1 to 3, you get to add 1 level 2, 3, or 4 pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so 1 through 4. It's really weird, but it's 1 through 3, but it lets you go through 1 through 4. Okay, now from 4 to 6, you get to add 1 level 5, 6, or 7 pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. 7, return up to 2 cards from your pendulum zone to the hand. Then you can spell summon 1 pendulum monster from your hand. This could be actually pretty interesting as well. I think that this new pendulum support is actually looking very, very interesting, and that looks like it's going to go ahead and wrap it up for the newer Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But let me know, guys, what you think of them down below in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here and you don't want to miss out on more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards from, of course, Defo Dimension Force when they do get announced, hit subscribe, turn the bell, and you'll definitely see it when it comes out. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.